look at all these bugs. Like, quite a bit. Dragonflies, bees, everything out here. So let's take a moment of silence for these bugs. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna say thank you for those who used my referral link and ordered your Tesla. I just want to thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just means a lot. Like, my videos are working. Like, you know, I talk about things, and anyway, I was able to get something, and hopefully, you guys got something too with your vehicles. Anyway, let's get to the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. A little illuminated sign, my YouTube channel name on it. It's pretty cool. So, you know, my wife got that. She actually surprised me. She said, hey, there's a bug in the garage, and I turned around and she asked me to come into the garage, and I came in here and there it was sitting on the windshield of the M3. So, you know, I just got that mounted. I thought I could film a couple videos real quick while I have some time. So this video is going to be about the Tesla Model 3. I'm going to talk about some things that you may or may not know about. These are features that I sort of discovered, some things I read into the owner's manual or watched the owner's manual. And some things that, you know, like I said, some things are just so you're obvious, but then you may not know, right? So anyway, this is my 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance. I took delivery of it in March of this year, 2023. And this is my main commuter car. It has been a fun car for me to drive to work and back. Not so much as the character of the car, but it's really great addition to a place to be. Like I said, I spend about an hour in the car, actually 2 hours in the car each day going to work and back. So with that amount of time, you spend a lot of time in your car. Sometimes you just want to have a decent commuter car, right? You don't want to be something with the beater and spend like hours and, you know, weeks, you know, inside that side of things. So, I mean, it's great space for me. It's something that I enjoy for what it is. So, hidden features or features you may know about. Let's get into the first one. All right, so the first one is this is a button to get in and out of the car once you're in. So you shut your door. This is an exit button. You see here, this is how you get out of the car. All right, so I press this button, it opens the door. This button drops the window down, obviously a clear door frame. This is not unique to Tesla. This is unique to any frameless style windows, any car. I think I first seen this years ago on a Mercedes. Any car that doesn't have a frame on the window, it needs to be able to drop it in order to clear the seal, okay? The reason why I mentioned this up, because say, for example, the battery died or I'm in a car collision and it's not operable, there is an emergency release. It's right here, all right? You pull up on this. I recommend, I really want to do it right now because you could damage the seal, but you pull up here. Let me just do it here so you can see it in the light. So you lift up here, and that's how you get exit out of the car. And the thing about this, what it does, it doesn't drop the window down because it's more of a safe, it's more of like emergency release. Okay, that's if the electronic lock doesn't work. All right, next thing was I was looking for the hazards. Like, where's the hazard switch? I need to turn the hazards for a second. And they're actually up here. So you hit the button and your four-way hazards are right there. All right, next thing is air conditioning. When the heat is on, you automatically turns on both the driver and passenger automatically. However, when the AC is on, if I turn the temperature down, let's see if it will switch over to AC. Switches over. Sometimes once I switch to AC, there we go. So I'm on AC mode. It only does the driver's seat. That's mainly to preserve energy. You know, there's no point blowing cool air on the passenger side or the rear side unless you're occupant. So if someone drops into the seat and they sit here automatically, there's a weight sensor of course. If I can, there you go, press on it right now, there you go. It turns it on. All I did is put my hand on the seat. You can see how it popped up. So that turns the AC on the second passenger side. What I've discovered, and maybe someone can help me out, is when I have the baby in the back, I have to come over here and actually activate the rear fan. It doesn't automatically turn on. So that right here activates those rear vents that are right there. Unless there's a way I can do, yeah, I don't see it in here. So maybe someone can help me out. Obviously here, this is your heated seat for driver and passenger. You have your front and rear defroster, and then you have, back up here again, you have heated steering wheel and heated windshield. So heated windshield is a little different than heated defroster. I think that I'm not sure what the I'm not sure if there's heating elements inside here, but you see here that one just heats it up, and this one actually should blow air. Your window control. So, like most cars with automatic windows, if you press it, you got two detents in here. So pressing it down like that, a little bit, you can control how much you want. Okay, you can. Now there's a resistance point in here. If I press past the resistance point, it should be the express down, which means it'll automatically go all the way down. Okay, same thing going up. So let's do, I could increment, I can release, or I could just say, hey, you know what? I want to do express. One touch, pull all the way up. It's 2 clicks. You feel it inside the switch, and then it'll be express, and it'll go all the way up. I just washed my car, so now I got smear mark and wipe that off here shortly. All right, there are settings in here where you can, for example, if I go to the light setting and I scroll down, so here we go, lights. There's auto cancel and turn signal. All right, so right now I have it off, but if I turn this on, what this does, it will automatically cancel the turn signal whenever the car knows that I completed my lane change. It's pretty cool because if I take a bit longer, if I need to wait for a minute to turn the turn signal, for me, I like having just the 3 automatic, and then it self cancels. But when you have the auto cancel, it won't turn off. Even if I just hit the one click, the 3, it will stay on until I complete my lane change. So if I'm taking a little bit longer to make a lane change, it's going to remain on until I make that lane change. If I'm making a turn, it will remain on. But then now, if I cross multiple lanes at once, which legally you shouldn't be, you should take one lane at a time. But if you make multiple lane changes at the same time, sometimes it will cancel itself before you make your chemo across. So that's something to be aware about. But otherwise, I feel like it works flawlessly, especially for, I use it a lot on the Model S Plaid that I rented that had the, stalkless, and I was able to just go ahead and hit the button, and it was nice that it canceled itself. I had to press the button back again. All right, so you go here, locks. You have child lock. All right, so if I'm have someone just sitting on the one side, I have an adult on the left, and I have a child on the right, I can just lock that right, so that way the child can't play with the open the door and get out the car and things like that. So that's nice that you can choose what side you want. All right, you got a car wash mode. Now, I recommend hand washing if you can, just because this paint's super thin. If you can't use it, if you have to use a car wash, use a touchless car wash, preferred before you do an automated tunnel wash. But if you do it, you go to your, because these cars, that go into neutral, you'll have to, there's resistance points, and you'll have to be in drive and go up just a little bit. All right, so what you'll go to service, and you go to car wash mode, and what that do is that automatically just kind of gives the features, put all the things you need right here. I could feel, or say I could hear the windows kind of go up and seat themselves even more. Everything closes itself. What's features handy about it is that the lock on the battery charge port stays locked. And that's helpful because when you go through those dryers, you don't want that turbulent to somehow lift that port, and then it'll probably get blown off by the wind or damaged. Parking assist chimes is nice because when those brushes are washing your car, you don't want to keep constantly hearing it chiming. If you decide to go into a tunnel, you have you can put it neutral quickly right there, just enable the free roll, and it'll do it for you instead of you trying to do it through the stalk. And obviously, when you're in car wash mode, you have these dots, and I'm gonna tell you about this power meter here in a minute. Let's exit car wash mode. So this is your power flow meter. Okay. Notice how I got the three dots on the left, or I got the multiple dots on the left side and nothing on the front side. All right, so this is more about telling me the battery's cold, and it won't accept maximum rate regeneration. Now, to me, I don't think the green bar goes more than that. But when you're accelerating, you'll see a bar that goes black when you're accelerating. When you're regenerating, it goes green this side. All right, the dots just indicate that the battery temperature is colder, and this is what it can accept. Now, I have ran this battery down before to a low state of charge, and what I've noticed that the dots have started to come back and back themselves down, which means that I wasn't getting my maximum power available. When you're down to those single digits, you'll start seeing that it's first an indication that the car is kind of backing off. Now, I've heard stuff and people say, "Oh, you don't want to regen when it's cold." You just drive the car really, because the car is not going to damage itself. It's not going to, a cold battery is not going to give itself maximum regeneration unless it knows. So if these dots are like move further up, what's going to happen is when I'm braking, or if I'm decelerating with it, trying to use regen to slow down, I may have to use the hydraulic brake down here to slow down, because it won't be enough. So just be aware of that. Also, if you're on a full charge, if you're charging 100% for road trip, it won't be able to regen anything back to your battery pack. So that way you have to use your hydraulic brakes. And there is an option too, if you're fully charged, or for example, the battery's really cold, you can have it automatically use the friction brakes, apply them when you can't use max regen. That way you're not confused. All right, one thing I like about this is right now is recognizing my last speed limit. If I'm driving and I activate autopilot, either one click to do speed control or the second to do lane keep assist, it won't, if I'm below the speed limit, it will automatically lock in and set that max speed. I don't have to like speed up, especially if I'm in traffic. Sometimes I get stuck with traffic and I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to do autopilot. These other cars it'll just lock on that speed that I'm already at. So if I'm at 20 and I turn on the cruise control, adapter control, it's going to stay at 20, and I have to click up to get to my speed. With this one is I could be in stuck with traffic. I can just turn it on and automatically do my set speed at like say 35, or if the speed limit is 55, it will say 55, and it will be stopped and go from there. Another thing is these wheels obviously have multiple functions. One thing is you can set your distance. So if you're using the autopilot, which is adaptive cruise control, and you're saying, you know what, it's really following this car too closely. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't like how close it stays, or you just want to give yourself more distance. You can use this wheel to adjust, and you can increase, but think between 1 through 5 levels of how close you want your Tesla to follow the vehicle in front of you. Now, other cars that I've driven with that cruise control, they always seem to be either timed based, meaning like if I'm in the closest setting, as we pick up speed, it starts to increase that distance based upon the following distance. So, let's say for example, if it's on a distance 3, could be like a 2-second falling distance, right? But at lower speed, it can maybe keep a tighter gap and adjust that. But at a higher speed, it may have to adjust. All right, if you have a garage that has Wi-Fi, I have a Chamberlain garage door Wi-Fi, you don't have to buy the module. You can subscribe, and it's up to you if you want to do it either monthly or yearly. But you can just have this right here, and it communicates to the garage door, and the garage door automatically opens up. And then there's other settings in here with this that the module can't do because it's using your GPS in your car. But it'll do, for example, if I go to my settings, and I can have it so it automatically opens when I get to the house and closes when I leave. Or if I'm in a tight area, it'll automatically get that. for me. So that's nice that it does that. Before when I was parking this in the garage, it was nice when I pulled up, the garage was already opening up, and it tells you as you get close to it how many feet, and it tells you as activating the garage door, and then you drive away, it closes, which is nice. All right, so what was happening for me was I created profiles in here. And you can create your profiles simply by adding a key. And then obviously if you use the app, you can send authorization to another authorized driver. And then their system is in here. Now, what was happening for me was every time my wife would drive the car, I would get into it. And I'm like, why? When I use my phone, obviously my phone with my key to get into the car, why was it not go into my settings? And I had to go on up to here. I had to go into my settings and actually activate my profile. And I was like, why do I have to keep doing that? But then when she gets her user key, her automatically adjusts her settings. So what I found was if you go into your settings, which is hitting the car icon here, going into your you go into your locks menu. And what was happening was I was under my profile of Eddie, right? And what you do is pull your profile up, look and make sure your keys are there. All right. So that key shaped thing, that's my key card. That one's Lexi's phone. That one's her key card. All right. So I got two key cards. But what was happening was my phone was not on my profile. And the way you do that is you pull your profile up and then you hit the person. And you'll see my name pop up next to my phone. Now that profile is now attached to this phone. So now anytime I use my phone to unlock, it should pull up the profile. And that's how you can set individual keys up for that. Not sure, is that a software update? What is this? This has popped up just now. No, there's an update available. So there's an update available that I don't know what it is, but that the card lets you know when there's updates, which is pretty cool. And then you can just kind of download them, just like your iPhone, and the car shuts down. If you do updates, I recommend doing it if you know you don't have to drive anywhere in the next, like, give yourself at least a few hours in between, just in case something goes wrong or anything like that. You don't want to do it before you leave for work and try to do a software update, or do it on a road trip. I'd rather not just wait until you get somewhere, just in case there's these things that are computers, right? And sometimes they don't go well. So I'd rather not take that chance. That's my advice if I can give you. Now this thing's pretty cool. I can talk outside the car. It's like I'm police. Pull over. Pull all the way over the shoulder of the road. Pull over. Pull over. You're under arrest for driving too slow in the fast lane. So one of the features that I like here was you can play your music here. Just go to your toy box and hit Boombox, and you have options where you can, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Not that, I don't think I ever used that in the parking lot. Don't want to annoy anybody. I mean, was that like the modern generation of playing your music real loud and having the subs and everything else, knowing everybody else back then? So I wish that I rented a Tesla a while ago. last year, and you can actually play this while you're driving. But I think they did an update and you can't do that anymore. So. All right, so this other feature while I'm in the locks menu is obviously you have the horn will honk itself, and you have the close windows unlock. So all I do is go ahead and take my phone with me as I leave. I'm gonna walk away from the car, and then the window should automatically roll up when the car locks. Let's give it a second. I mean, I'm not far away at there. So that's pretty cool. All right, one other thing. For those who park on hilly driveways or anything like that, there is a parking brake feature in here. There are two ways you can do it. So you're going to do your settings, go into safety, scroll right down to the bottom, park brake. Right now it's off, and then I can just hit that. If you enable that, your foot's got to be on the brake. You got to press it down in order for that to work properly. You'll hit that engage, and you'll also see it there. Okay. So another way you do it is press park, and press and hold it 2 seconds, and it shouldn't give you the parking brake logo right there. Okay. All right. Now the parking brake is on. I can actually feel it, the brake pedal move away from my foot. Anyway, it's engaged. You should always do this on hills. Never rely on just like an automatic transmission car or a manual car. Never rely on the transmission to hold the vehicle in place. So I know this is an electric car, but there's still some type of engagement in the motor. I think this way you're actually using the physical brake to hold it. And if you want to turn the car off, you can just turn it off. The car is going to turn off automatically when we walk away, but if you want to manually turn it off, just hit that and power off. The car's off. Wow, look at these fingerprints. All right.